We will find at least as many awards that have gone to those who tried to bring about fundamental changes in international politics, but where the results were still unclear at the time when they received their awards. Woodrow Wilson's prize came when he was at his weakest, both politically and personally, after suffering a stroke. He had created the League of Nations, but the United States would not join. Wilson was a hero to the world, but not in the United States. The American Secretary of State, Cordell Hull, received the award after the establishment of the United Nations, but so early that no one could be sure how significant the United Nations would be. Many have been awarded the prize for their courage, even when the results for a long time seemed modest. Carl von Ossietzky, Andrei Sakharov, Lech Walesa, and Dalai Lama, Aung San Suu Kyi, to name a few. When Albert Luthuli received his prize, the struggle against apartheid was in its infancy. There were few results to point to. When Martin Luther King Jr. received his award, he proclaimed his dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of the skin, but by the content of the character. But there was still a long way to go from dream to reality. Mr. President, we are so happy to see that through your presence here, so much of Dr. King's dream has come true. In the Middle East, there have been many wars and many peace prizes have been awarded. Why does the Nobel Committee not wait until final peace agreements have been concluded? Nothing is final in history. It always moves on. Peace must be built again and again. The Norwegian Nobel Committee cannot award a prize when nothing has been achieved. If the principles are important enough, however, and the struggle over them is vital to the future of the world, the committee cannot wait until we are certain that the principles have won on all fronts. That would make the prize a rather belated stamp of approval and not an instrument for peace in the world. Your Majesties, Mr. President, Your Royal Highnesses, ladies and gentlemen, and Mr. President, in both the First and the Second World War, your great country came to Europe's rescue. We shall never forget it. After the First World War, Woodrow Wilson sought to build a world founded on international cooperation and democracy. His success was limited. During and after the Second World War, Franklin Roosevelt and Harry Truman took initiatives to create the United Nations and other global institutions. The lesson was that the power of nation-states could not be unlimited. States must commit themselves to international law and universal rights for the individuals. The world moved away from unrestrained nation-states and towards greater internationalism. Today, yet another American president is trying to renew internationalism. He reaffirms that the United States must lead together with others. Walls must be torn down, as he put it in his speech in Berlin in July 2008. The walls between old allies on either side of the Atlantic cannot stand. The walls between the countries with the most and those with the least cannot stand. The walls between races and tribes, natives and immigrants, Christians and Muslims and Jews cannot stand. These now are the walls we must tear down. This must surely be Alfred Nobel's fraternity between nations. President Obama is a political leader who understands that even the mightiest are vulnerable when they stand alone. He is a man who believes in the strength of a community, be it the local community where he started his career many years ago, or the global community which he leads today. Obama has the audacity to hope and the tenacity to make these hopes come true. That is what makes him so important. By his own behavior and leadership, he is demanding that we all take our share of responsibility for a global response to global challenges. We congratulate, therefore, this year's laureate, President Barack Obama, on what he has already achieved and wish him every possible success in his continuing efforts for a more peaceful world. May you receive the help you truly deserve. Thank you very much.